Yeah, I think it is.
Now, when I came here, before setting out, I just really felt I needed a nice cup of coffee.
You've got to speak up.
Use the coffee mug as a loud inhaler, seriously. Take the bottom out, it'll work.
Let's try.
We'll make it. Carry on.
Yeah, before setting out, I thought I really could do with a nice cup of coffee before I came out. And when you look at this sign here, you'll see I'm not the first person. Right? For the people who can't read, it says, on this site between 1680 and 1778 stood Jonathan's Coffee House, the principal meeting place of the city's stockbrokers. Now, one of the things about coffee is that they also like to have a lot of sugar in it. And a lot of people still, even today, like to have a lot of sugar in it. Right? Coffee drinking, tea drinking, all became part of this urban lifestyle with lots and lots of sugar, and this was completely tied up with the slave trade and slavery and sugar plantations and everything like that. So the coffee was the actual commodities that people started to drink in Europe were linked in with the world domination, which Peter was talking about just now. And so the coffee houses were one of the principal places where people would meet and get together and in this instance, do all their business. There were other coffee houses which were a bit more radical in nature, but the radicals tended to drink a little bit more beer than drinking coffee. So I think it's probably something that's still true to this day. Anyway, let's continue on through there and down to the right.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, to make a point, thanks to the sugar and the coffee, both addictive, both transatlantic, both the commodities of money, both the commodities of exchange, both from the earth, but we didn't see the blood, really, did we? We didn't see the labor of it. What we saw is traffic, and this is what disturbs them. We had the plate glass windows. The plate glass window, to entice and excite us, had not yet been developed. The business was done in the coffee house, which, as we know, because we live in such an era, the coffee is the drug of money. Unlike alcohol, where you will lose it quickly, but the drug you can calculate, and the sugar can up you. These are the drugs that begin in the 1690s and that go with the gold, go with the calculation. This is why they were so upset in the Royal Exchange, because they were afraid that traffic would be interrupted. Traffic is for buying and selling only. If we stop to talk or read a plaque, it immediately causes suspicion of the interruption between the commodity and money. Thank you. Yeah.
It slows it down.
I like it. Then that's fine.
I know. That's the thing with
I hope this is a bit better. Can you hear me at the back? Right, scattered throughout the City of London is a whole range of churches. Okay. Scattered around London, the City of London, there are a large number of churches. This is the parish church of St Mary Walnut. And in fact, for the number of people living in the area, which is very small, there are an awful lot of churches. One of the things is that actually the City of London is a very religious institution. And alongside making all this money, they have these livery companies and the livery companies link up with the churches, so the livery companies and the churches provided another area for all the businessmen to meet. But when I say businessmen, it's because the idea of business women is really something introduced only in the last few years, right? Basically in my lifetime, some women have started to move in these circles. Before that, it was just straightforward, a male environment, and the livery companies were, should we say, they were, a lot of them had their Masonic lodges in, but they had all the features of public school, male environment, and the churches and everything like that. And so in many ways, the kind of Christianity that evolved out of this reflected that social origins, and basically it aligned with the Anglican Church with the Queen at the top of it. And so this was a whole hierarchical structure, which was the basis of the religion, which then reflected how the people who created all of this wanted the whole of society to be. So we're going to go across the road and down that road just there.
Fabian.
Yes.
So are the livery companies still
I just wanted to say, as a tourist, the monument there to the Fire of London excites me to remember the bakers there, and a fundamental principle that we are not afraid of ruins. Are we? We can build and rebuild. Buildings come down. The other point I wish to make is Lombard Street, the origins of capitalism in northern Italy. The Italians came here in order to do their banking and to teach the English bankers about it in the Middle Ages. It's global from the beginning, isn't it? And so are we.
Or as Chumbawamba put it, nothing ever burns down by itself. Every fire needs a little bit of help. Give the anarchist a cigarette.
You're the anarchist somewhere.
I'm a left communist. I just work for all that.
Turn around.
Okay, so we're standing at something called the London. We're standing at something called the London Stone.
We're standing at something called the London Stone.
This is a fragment.
This is a fragment
Of the original piece of limestone.
Of the original piece of limestone.
Once securely fixed in the ground.
Once securely fixed in the ground.
Now fronting Cannon Street Station.
Now fronting Cannon Street Station.
Removed in 1742.
Removed in 1742.
To the north side of the street. In
to the north side of the street.
In 1798.
1798.
It was built into the south wall.
It was built into the south wall.
Of the Church of St Swithin.
Of the Church of St Swithin.
Church of St Swithin Londonstone, sorry.
The Church of St Swithin Londonstone.
Which stood here until demolished in 1962.
Which stood here until demolished in 1962.
Its origin and purpose are unknown.
Not very interesting.